Hi, I'm Josh Freeman. I'm the founding partner at Freeman Level, and we are a law firm that helps business and real estate entrepreneurs navigate their businesses from idea to exit. We've created this program is kind of an education tool for our clients and other business owners to help understand the legal principles and potential pitfalls and issues associated in structuring their business properly, scaling their business and growing it so it gets to a value and a point where they want to sell it. So today we're going to talk about our cap table. What we're going to talk about is, how many units and shares should our companies have? What's the right number? And that's a good question, and some of it depends on on your business and what your plans are. So so one of the biggest questions is, how many owners do you think you're going to have? And are you going to have owners that own large chunks and at the same time have owners that own like very small, 1/4% or even less than that of a percent of the business? Because the larger the disparity in ownership percentage, the higher the number of units in an LLC or shares in a corporation you're going to want to have. So, for technology companies that are going to be using, stock options and other things like that to, incentivize and compensate owners and are going to be raising a lot of money, having, tens of millions of units and shares makes a ton of sense. For a business that's going to be owned by a husband and wife, and you're not going to be giving it away to anybody, until you die and you pass it to your kids or give it to charity or whatever. In those situations, having 1,000 units or 100 even works just fine. But basically, the concept is you want to make sure that you have enough units and shares so that you can allow for full unit transfers to, employees, to small minority owners, and and allow for the percentages that you want. And so like I was saying, if you have John Walters here with 3 million shares, but then you want to give an employee from the authorized and issued units or shares pool 100 units, which would be a tiny overall percentage, then having a large number like 10 million is really great. So my rules of thumb, and basically what I typically do, is for a company that's going to be using their shares to incentivize and retain employees and take on investor dollars, I typically go with 10 million as my rule of thumb, as I've done here. If it's something where that's not going to be the case and there are less than 5 owners, then my rule of thumb is going starting at 10,000 and then kind of increasing up depending on the disparity in ownership percentages. But yeah, so that's kind of how I go about thinking of how many units or shares a company should have. And I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at josh@freemanlevel.com or any of the attorneys at our firm. Really appreciate your time, and good luck.